BIS economists contend crypto can't fulfill the role of money, though. So another shot across the bow. As soon as we are like, hey, this is obviously working now as it should be in certain areas, well, they have to come down on it, right? And so it's a push and a pull. The nature of permissionless blockchains necessarily leads to fragmentation of the crypto landscape, according to the central banking group. The banks are not going to like this, guys. So this is kind of, I want to show both sides of it. You kind of have the human rights leaders coming out and saying, hey, this is obviously cryptocurrency is a good thing. It's enabling, individuals to survive certain bad case scenarios. And then boom, you come right back and the banks come out and they're like, no, this is a terrible idea. It's exactly like you would expect it to play out, though. The use of public blockchains results in fragmentation. That means crypto could never be a sustainable means of payment, economists from the Bank of International Settlements said in a report on Tuesday. Fragmentation means that crypto cannot fulfill the social role of money. Fragmentation is the reason that cryptocurrency would function. That is kind of one of the thoughts behind the digital transformation is you end up with smaller and smaller groups of people that control whatever economy, smaller pieces of the economy, right? The report contended that as transactions per block get close to their limit, the cost of transactions rise, causing users to seek alternative blockchains. This fragmentation means blockchains cannot harness the beneficial network effect associated with traditional money. Ooh, they did not do much research outside of Ethereum, it feels like. While in some cases on certain blockchains, this is true. The fact that you would have essentially higher fees with the more transactions on the network. There are tools in place that you can participate within layer 2 and layer 3 that reduce this as being necessarily a problem, right? Or we could talk about side chains, etc. I do not think that it creates fragmentation because you can build all these on top of a single currency. Money, the report's author wrote, is a coordination device meant to facilitate economic exchange, and that can happen only if there are network effects where the money is continually made more attractive as more people use it. Without interoperability between competing blockchains, cryptocurrencies cannot fulfill that role. That doesn't mean that interoperability is not happening either, though. So as we've seen, obviously there are a ton of projects that are working towards this. Ones like Flux from the proof of work standpoint, where interoperability is a big thing that is taking place within competing blockchains. I don't see any of these arguments as being currently relevant. A majority of these arguments, or these last two that we've covered, seem to have been answered within the past bull run cycle. And I think maybe they're a little bit behind the times. That's kind of to be expected from traditional finance, though. Not a fan of Bitcoin or crypto in general, the BIS, which is an organization that represents the world's major central banks, of course they wouldn't be a fan of crypto in general, has been advancing its own research into central bank digital currencies and recently completed Project Dunbar, in which the central banks of Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, and South Africa found that cross-border CBDC efforts were viable. Of course they want central bank digital currencies. Remember, on this channel, we are pro-cryptocurrency, anti-CBDCs. Reason for that is CBDCs go in the opposite direction of the intended direction of cryptocurrency, which is to put the control even further back into the hands of the banks and the governments. And if you have it on the federal level, it gets even worse because now you've centralized the currency even further from having banks and federal governments to purely having federal governments and agencies controlling said currency. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.